Aspirants sought divine intervention from different sanctuaries as they await the verdict from the voters on who should succeed President Mwai Kibaki as Kenya's fourth president. And as the clock ticked, the African Union Observer team announced that all the 8 presidential candidates have assured and promised that they will accept the verdict of the Kenyan voters either as winners or losers. And as Patrick Amimo reports, the chairperson of the African Union's Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma has urged Kenyan voters to turn up in large numbers tomorrow and exercise their democratic right by electing leaders of their choice.
With the official campaigns now over, presidential candidates made a date with the clergy for divine intervention. The Prime Minister and Code Alliance presidential torchbearer Raila Odinga attended a church service at the St. John Everlasting Gospel Church in Nairobi. Raila called on Kenyans to vote and wait for the results calmly.
We do not want any blood to be shed this time around in our country. We do not want the prophets of doom to try to cast negative aspersions. We want everybody to look at another person next to themselves, look at the person next to you and say that person is a fellow Kenyan.
Deputy Prime Minister and Jubilee Alliance's presidential flag bearer Uhuru Kenyatta was in Kirigiti in his Kiambu County backyard, also on the same mission.
And where they have reached, it is your wish, and I believe in the name of Jesus.
And the message to his supporters was one of peace. KTN crew met Deputy Prime Minister and Amani Coalition's presidential candidate Musalia Mudavadi at his Mululu home. He had just attended a prayer service at Chamakanga Friends Church in his Vihiga County backyard before returning home to relax with friends and relatives.
I see a peaceful transition. We should not have the kind of crisis we had last time. So personally, I'm convinced that it will be peaceful.
Elsewhere, the Eagle Alliance's presidential aspirant Peter Kenneth attended a prayer service at Mavuno Church in Nairobi, where he received blessings from the clergy. Kenneth called on Kenyans to shun tribalism and vote wisely.
In the same vein, I want to appeal to IEBC. Please, be a neutral referee.
NARC Kenya presidential candidate Martha Karua had a date with the deity at Kaminji Anglican Church in Mwea, Kirinyaga County. Karua said she will accept Kenyans' choice, adding that her main interest was to see peaceful coexistence amongst Kenyans during and after the polls. Safina presidential candidate Paul Muite was not left behind either in seeking the blessings from men of the cloth, and the peace message continued to resonate. On their part, members of the African Union Election Observer Mission said despite the tight electioneering schedule, they have managed to meet 4 presidential candidates, Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, Peter Kenneth and Professor James Ole Kiyapi, in an effort to seek assurances and commitments from all presidential aspirants on the polls.
They have shown commitment to have these elections very peaceful elections, and they committed themselves to recognize the results which will be announced by the competent bodies.
Kenyan people should come out in their numbers and exercise their will freely and do it in a peaceful manner.
It was refreshing to see all presidential aspirants engage in prayer, seeking God's favors to be occupants of that imposing red-tiled White House on the hill. But then, the Kenyan voters hold a trump card on who becomes the country's next chief executive. Patrick Amimo, KTN Choice 2013.